This is extract of balance sheet. Okay, such question will come for 4 marks. Okay, so whenever they ask you extract of balance sheet, you will prepare only what is asked. That means you will show only share capital. Okay, so you will begin this way. You will write extract of balance sheet as per schedule 3, and then you will mention the details, that is particulars, note number, amount. So under particulars, you will write the first heading being equity and liability, under that shareholders fund, share capital. Okay, so your syllabus is confined only till share capital. You don't have to show reserves and surplus, cash and cash equivalents, and the other headings. Okay, so you will ignore reserve, you will ignore premium in the question. You will take only share capital. Why? Because all that will be shown in reserves and surplus. So calls and advance also will be ignored because it will go in liabilities. So you will just take shareholders fund, share capital. Now you need an amount, right? That amount is found out by preparing notes to accounts. So in notes to accounts, it will be written as notes to accounts, number 1, share capital. Under that, the first heading will always be authorized capital, which is also called as nominal capital or registered capital. Okay, so authorized capital dash shares of rupees dash each, which will be given in the question. When the question is silent about the authorized capital, you can leave it blank. You can say dash shares of rupees 10 each and put a dash and write it as XX. Okay, then the second heading is issued capital. Under issued capital, you will write it as dash number of shares into rupees dash each and write the amount and double underline, because we don't take this while totaling. It is just for showing it. So issued capital will also be mentioned in the question. So suppose if the company says the authorized capital is 5 lakhs, rupees 5 lakhs of 10 rupees 10 each, shares of rupees 10 each, then it will be 50,000 into 10, then you show 5 lakh outside. And then they say the company decided to issue 30,000 shares. Then you will say 30,000 shares of rupees 10 each and show 30,000 outside. Okay, so all this will be given in the question. All that you have to do is just copy paste them. Okay, the third heading is subscribed capital. Okay, subscribed capital will vary depending on the question. Okay, so whatever you will just show it like dash number of shares of rupees 10 each, whatever, take the amount down. You will add these two steps, add and subtract this step. That is, if there's calls and arrears, you will less it. If there's forfeiture account, you will add it. Okay, now when do I add less calls and arrears is when some shareholder fails to pay the share amount. It can be a call amount or allotment or any stage amount. That amount has to be deducted from the subscribed capital. For example, here I've mentioned it. When shareholders fail to pay and no mention is about forfeiture. That means these shares are not forfeited. It is still alive in the company. Just that shareholders have failed to pay the money. Then you write subscribed capital. The first two steps will be the same. For subscribed capital, you will follow it like this. For example, let's take 10,000 shares of rupees 10 each. Okay, and 1,000 did not pay 3 rupees. So they've paid the application of 4 rupees, allotment 3 rupees, call money of 3 rupees is not paid. Then what you do? You will take the subscribed capital as an heading. You will write 10,000 shares of 10 each, 1 lakh, less calls in arrears, because these 1,000 people have failed to pay 3 rupees. So it will be 1,000 into 3, 3,000. So you minus the calls in arrears and show 97,000. The same 97,000 will be showed here under share capital. Okay, now moving on to the second case. When shareholder fails to pay the amount and then it is forfeited. That means they're cancelling the shares. But they're not talking about any reissue. That means those shares are cancelled, but it is not sold to someone. It is not reissued. Then what you do? Okay, for example, the same example. Now 10,000 shares of rupees 10 each, okay, are issued. In that 1,000 people fail to pay. How much? 3 rupees. When the shareholders fail to pay and the same 1,000 shares are forfeited, then what you do? Then the subscribed capital will be, as usual, the first two steps will remain the same. You will show the same as authorized capital, issued capital. For subscribed capital, you will do this working. So now the total number of shares were 10,000. Now how many shares were cancelled? The 1,000 shares were cancelled for non-payment of call money of 3 rupees. So you minus that forfeited shares. Whatever is being cancelled, you'll minus it from the total. So 10,000 minus 1,000 becomes 9,000 shares. So these 9,000 are alive. Into 10 gives you 90,000. Okay, and then you will add the forfeited shares. That means now I have cancelled these 1,000 shares, but the amount that is already received from them is an income for me, right? So how much is the money that is already received? 4 plus 3 is already received, so 1,000 into 7 would give you 7,000. So that is the share forfeited amount. So when you add this, you will get the total amount of subscribed capital. The same thing will be shown here as 97,000. I repeat, when the shares are when shareholders fail to pay and then it is cancelled, what do? From the total number of shares, I minus the forfeited shares because you've cancelled them, so they're not alive, they're not existing. So after you minus those shares, the number of shares into the original price, which is 10, so that gives you 90,000. To that amount, you will always add the forfeited shares. Now forfeited shares is the amount that is already received because of this forfeiture. I mean, now 1,000 shares I'm cancelling. How much money they've not paid? 3 rupees is not paid. So how much is already paid? 4 plus 3, 7. So that 7 is the amount that I've already received. So 1,000 into 7, 7,000. So you total this 90,000 plus 7,000 gives me 97,000. The same amount you will show it in share capital. Clear? Okay. Now the third case. See, shareholders fail to pay the money, then what you do, you've learned. When shareholders fail to pay money and when it is forfeited, what you do. And when it is forfeited and reissued, what you do. When it is reissued, you get back those shares, right? See, for example, 1,000 shares I cancelled and I'm reissuing 1,000 shares. Then what happens? You're getting back those 1,000. Okay, so it will not affect at all. Okay, so you will not pass any entry for that. You will just write 10,000 into 10 and finish it off. You will not add or less anything. So no entry will be made. You can ignore when shares forfeited and reissued. When they are reissued, you will ignore it. Okay. Now, for example, a part of some of the shares are reissued, some of the shares are not reissued. Okay. So the shares that are not reissued, you will just add the forfeited share amount like this. Okay. The ones which are reissued, you will ignore it. Clear?